So what's up guys, and welcome back to another video where today we are back at the Two Brothers One World, where actually there's only one brother in this world. Now I decided to play by myself today, and I just wanted to do some progress, as normally when I play with my brother the game actually seems quite short. Now what I did today is actually build a fishing dock so that we can fish safely. Now, the design that I'm choosing with this is just a plain oak wood and some cobblestone. Now, this took me around, I say, 20 minutes, and to gather all the wood and resources, probably around 2 hours. But the thing is, this used quite a lot of wood, and I probably chopped quite a lot of trees. Now, we need a fishing dock, as at night time it's just difficult to fish as mobs can spawn. Now when making a fishing dock, you're normally going to need quite a lot, some torches, as it's quite dangerous at night time and mobs could just come at you and attack you. Now you can see me adding fences around the base, around the dock, and that's just because it just adds an aesthetic look. Now I grabbed my cobblestone to finish the roof. Now I have to say something about this build, and that is that it's not that even, so it has quite a weird shape. And I think I'm going to fix that out soon, probably next episode, because it just doesn't look that good. Now this is just me in mind while I'm building the stairs out, because it just makes it faster to go down to the mine and just mine. Now I have to say, this is probably one of the luckiest episodes ever, and you'll soon see why. Now there's also something else I have to say, and that is that I've accidentally made a grindstone and I thought it was a stone cutter. Now I didn't actually at the time knew what I needed to build, so it's quite a big mistake. Now we started getting some coal and some granite, because I thought the granite looked quite good and I could make a path around the village. And this me farming, and I have to say the farm actually is coming out quite well, and I think that we already need to expand it further, because we are starting to get more seeds and potatoes than we can cope with. So when you have that many seeds, you'll have to plant them. Now our pumpkin farm actually is starting to work. Now I'm just gonna start fishing, and I didn't fish for that long as I didn't feel like it was that worthwhile. And I think you should normally start fishing when at least you can get like an enchanting table, because then you can get like a fishing rod with lure 2, or at least Luck of the Sea, which could make fishing a bit more worthwhile. Now I have to say, we'll have to light up the village a bit more, because it's full of mobs, and as you saw there was like creepers, skeletons and zombies all around. Now I'm starting to go down to the mine, but first I took quite a lot of coal because I needed it for the torches and all the ores that I'm gonna mine. So now we found a cave. No, I found a cave, but that was actually Nithil, so I couldn't go into it as I didn't want to intrude into his cave as he found it first. Now I found our way into this zombie spawner, which I have to say is probably one of the luckiest things to find, as they're quite rare and it's that close to our base, so we can make some kind of XP farm. but then I realized that it's also Nithal's cave, so we're kind of sharing it. Now at this point I just added some kind of entrance to make it more noticeable so that I can find my way back when I want to go back to our base. Now I started exploring this bit and I already found a creeper and 2 skeletons, which is quite unlucky. But I have to say the reward after battling those 3 is quite good. Now this place where I just killed a slime cube, it seems like it's great for a slime farm, as every time I went by it, there's always seemed to be a slime cube. So I think we should also make a slime farm. Now I further went into exploring this as I really wanted to see the full cave, and I didn't want to leave this as there could be some potential more stuff. And here's what I told you about. It's another zombie spawner, and it's close to the other one, which means that we can make a double zombie spawner, and that's quite lucky. And I nearly also died here as I was mining that and all the gravel came down. But wait, I've also found a mine shaft. I didn't want to go into there as Nithal wasn't here, and I wanted to explore with him as I felt like that would be safer, as he could watch out for my back and I could look after his back. So yeah, so I decided to actually explore a bit of it, not too much, just around half of it, so we can at least see if there's anything worthwhile. But I left half of it so because I didn't feel like we had enough stuff to actually look into it, as it didn't feel that safe. Now I found 2 golden apples I think this episode, which is great, and that's probably going to be very helpful when you're probably fighting the Ender Dragon. And I also see a spider spawner. Now I went into strip mining a bit more because I wanted to at least find some diamonds this episode, but I don't think we can get that lucky in a 1 hour mine, because I just felt like we can't get that lucky in one episode. So the thing that I did is I just wanted to just strip mine just mine a straight line until we at least find diamonds, but then I just got bored of it and I started going back. Now there's another cave that I found, and it seemed quite dangerous as there was quite a lot of lava, and I nearly fell into the lava when I tried mining that iron piece. Now throughout this mining session I got around, I think, a stack and 47 iron, but you'll probably see on the next episode, but I managed to waste pretty much all of it, and I had around 6 iron left after what I did. Now I'll tell you more about it at the end of this. Now I'm doing more farming because I was running out of food. Now the one tip is, before you go breaking potatoes, just check on the height, as sometimes you could mine you could break a potato and actually it could have been like 2, as when they're fully grown they leave 2 potatoes. But sometimes at the start when I started playing, I normally break the potatoes when they were around halfway grown, which meant I only got 1 potato, so I was pretty much planting the same potatoes over and over again. Now I'm breeding these cows for the leather and not for the food, because I already had a farm for it. Now I'm thinking about building a sheep farm or like a wool farm, because it could be potentially useful when we get a shepherd, because when you have a shepherd and you have an infinite amount of wool, you're just gonna get rich. Now I went into looking at Nettle Space slightly, and I'd have to say it looked quite good, and it has some kind of lake, I think. Now I started making this arch because I had this idea of building a super smelter, not a super building a furnace room, because I always had that problem where I made a furnace which couldn't cope with the constant use that I used, so I needed something faster and where I could just use it, just put my ores that I found and all the food, and I could just cook it up. Now I thought about it, and I thought about using an automatic smelter where I just have to put the fuel in, so such as coal, and then I can put the food into one chest and then the coal onto the back, which meant that I needed quite a lot of hoppers. I think it was around 18 hoppers which I needed in total, and that's where all my iron went. Now I'm flattening this out because of the size of the build that I was thinking about building. Now I have to say it is quite a satisfying clip to watch. Now I'm currently just adding more dirt around my base because I wanted to have a bit more space, as I'm thinking about building some sort of like castle or just some kind of palace, but I'm mainly going to use oak wood and cobblestone. I'm probably going to add more wood types as I explore this world, but the current wood types I think we got quite near to our house is probably birch and dark oak. And I think we are nearing the end, and I think that's all we got time for. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe.